You know, this is cool because now that I know I can pop out the Discord video on a separate window, that means I could absolutely stream this window directly and everyone's face will be there. So that's kind of cool. All right, sorry, just had an
Are we
epiphany.
about to have our faces on the stream?
I'm gonna try to set that up during the course of my vacation next week, and maybe we'll
All
start
right,
getting
cool.
faces going, and somewhat. All right, cool guys. So yeah, stream is live as far as I can tell. We're good to go. Got the audio, got everything set up. All right. So last we left off, we had made our way out of the port city of Bereka, which is currently encapsulated in a very large sand dome of swirling sand, moving so fast that it grinds down almost anything that pushes through it. You guys attempted to push the cube through it, which seemed to pass through. Unfortunately, it passed through in like a perfect. It almost as if it passes through the cube itself, or it pushes around, or the metallic cube just is not susceptible to the grinding sensations or the grinding effect that this dome had. Um, it was like a perfect fit. Come to find out, it didn't leave an opening or break the barrier. You removed that cube very carefully to not get hurt, packed it up, and you began to head north. As the party was heading north, a conversation with Nanu ensued with fucking which one are you in this damn campaign with Zarkul? You know, you guys talking about the possibility of maybe having her tag along on a more permanent basis, which she seemed relatively interested in, but still very timid and very shy and just overall an anxious kind of individual, which led to the discovery of a pair of tracks, very large footprints that led to the east northeast of the caravan, proactively hunting it down in the context of a protection of the caravan, which has roughly anywhere between 100 to 200 people in total scattered about. Um, Making a couple of hours east of a journey, you had asked the caravan to wait for you, and Vincent obliged as he maintains watch over the caravan. The As you made your way east, the terrain turned from like sandy to more of a rocky type of terrain, as it seems like I think Grand Canyon esque in nature as far as that style of sand, hard rock, and just divots of sand here and there. Much more compacted part of the desert, and you came across like a hillside. On the hillside, you ran into a cyclops who warned you to basically get off his land. Um, Unfortunately, there seemed to have been a difference in opinion between the Cyclops' perspective of the situation and yours, which led to a relatively decent combat. Wrath taking a massive hit on Atanda dodging stones like they were fucking Nerf balls. Yeah, you wind up slaying the Cyclops in 3 rounds of combat, if I remember correctly, pretty easily. The Cyclops screaming as he falls down, yelling for his babies, as his hand kind of, as he falls, his hands reaching out towards what looks to be a wooden fence line not too far from the location that you slain him at. Which takes us to where we left off. So, Zarkul having stepped back, I believe Motete was also kind of a distance to, you know, kind of more on the defensive range side of the equation, with Anatanda and Wrath pretty much frontlining. Yeah, guys, so, you know, the day for reference is roughly around, I believe we said it was around the noon to 2 p.m. time ish. As this is all happening, sun is really hot in the sky right now. If you were to look over into the distances, you would see the cliche waves of heat rising off of the earth as the sun bakes the sand. Um, Antonda, you look down at the Cyclops, whose head is basically kind of on his left ear as he died, kind of in that sort of fashion. Um, take it away.
just didn't stop. I don't know why. I tried to tell him that he just didn't listen.
I didn't understand a word of what y'all were saying, so. But he was attacking us, and he wouldn't stop attacking.
I told him we would leave, but then he bull rushed you. Are you okay?
Wrath is going to kind of look himself over, and
Check.
he's like, I've definitely been better, but I couldn't have taken more than maybe one more of those swings, if that. But I'll be okay for now.
Go ahead.
I believe the only reason he bull rushed you was because I dropped my spell. I apologize for that, Wrath.
Aren't you still like 200 feet away or something?
I was only like right off the board. Like right here.
I thought you were 100 feet away or something.
Nah. I would have moved up to talk, by the way.
Okay.
And I believe that if I had kept up my spell, we could have ended this in a less deadly way, but at the same time, I understand your guys' viewpoint. And I apologize for my actions.
In more perfect circumstances, perhaps violence could have been avoided, but such is the messy things that can happen during combat.
You're right, Motete. I told him we would leave, and he told us to leave. And as I prepared to back away, that's when he attacked Wrath. I couldn't leave Wrath behind.
I do appreciate you coming in and using your abilities to help protect me from his last hit.
It's the least I could do.
You guys,
let's not let a tragedy go to waste. And Motete goes to examine the body. Take notes.
absolutely. You can, and just for sake of simplicity goes, because we don't have to get too nuts on it, you have a dead Cyclops in front of you. You're more than welcome to take in what any kind of physical presence this is, whatever you feel would be information that you're desiring from investigating this creature. You're welcome to jot down and take any of that information. If there's anything in specifics that you want to know, feel free to ask, but as far as I'm concerned, you can flavor that however you wish.
Well, he examines the eye, and if possible, if the eye is not like this big, but maybe if it was like this big, then he might take it.
Let's find out, shall
Random question for Wrath. Was the Cyclops' feet look like they were big enough to have made the footprints?
Is that a question for the DM, or are you asking somebody else?
No, I was asking because I'm right there by the dead body, and as Motete's looking it over, I'd look it over as well, kind of. Not in as extreme a detail as Motete, but just checking the feet.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe I misunderstood you. Are you asking me, or you're asking? Oh,
you.
I thought you were asking somebody in the group.
No, I was asking you.
My apologies. I misunderstood you. Yes. You look at the prints all around this area. This seems to be a local place for him, and it looks to be generically the same size. Whether or not it was his is a different question.
Yeah. I was just wondering if their feet were big enough.
As far as the size of the eyeball is concerned, let's just say just shy of a volleyball.
Probably too big.
Okay, guys. You begin to hear the sounds of meh, meh, coming from the next tier up. So if this is like the side of a hill with some rocky outcroppings here and there, you guys are on kind of like the base level. You hear from what sounds like one tier over, the sounds of baying.
Is that where his arms reached out to?
It is in the direction of where his arms reached out to. Absolutely.
Okay.
It sounds like he might have had sheep. We should probably go check on them.
I'll take a sample of Cyclops eye juice.
Absolutely, bro. That's fantastic. I'll tell you what, why don't we represent the efficiency that you have there? You're welcome to use survival or any kind of tool that you may have upon your possession that would make sense to harvest that with. You're more than welcome to make a roll for that to see how effectively you do that.
Can I use medicine?
Could I assist him with that medicine check?
Sure. I don't see why not.
And would a alchemist kit or herbalist kit
Well,
add any-
you're assisting him, so you're giving him advantage. He rolled a 21.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so with a 21, and I actually have with a 21, I mean, it's right in front of your face, so you don't even need to worry about that. Let's just say you get enough eye juice that under certain black markets could probably be worth anywhere between 1 to 2 gold worth of eye juice with the right buyer. Just putting values to quantities and things that you harvest just for, tracking purposes. So you're more than welcome to put 2 gold worth of fucking eye boogers or whatever.
Well, while Wrath is walking over to the to where we heard the sheep braying, I am going to cast Cure Wounds on myself. Just
Sure.
in case.
Sure, absolutely.
And Khajiit is going to approach the Cyclops, looking him over for loot and stuff.
Sure. The Cyclops himself, he's basically nude from the cock up. He's wearing what looks like, I guess, hide armor, but it's more of like a hide loincloth, and it's more of a fur. It seems to be like goat fur or some sort of sheep fur. His boots that he has on are also hide in nature, like patchwork hide. I think sheepskins bounded together kind of a thing. Very big fucking tree trunk as a club. And that's pretty much all he has on. He actually wears a fairly large, like a twine necklace. And it has what looks to be like a carved femur bone around his neck. Upon further investigation, I mean, the femur is off of a large creature. Can't really tell the exact breed of the creature, but it looks like to be carved or whittled to some degree.
No pouches or anything on him?
Not at the moment. Well,
Okay.
what do you mean not at the moment? He's dead. So no, not in this. No, just no.
All right.
Gonna-
Khajiit loses interest and he walks in the direction of his outstretched hand.
Absolutely. You jimmy your way up. There's kind of a ramp incline that kind of wraps around to get to it. And as you kind of wrap around, you see a very crude wooden fence kind of surrounding it. It's crude enough that you can see kind of in between, and the pen has a bunch of creatures in it, and it looks kind of like the picture on the wall of all the goats and sheep.
How many goats, how many sheep?
Good question. Let's find out. 10. Let's say 8 sheep and 2 goats.
Well, could provide a lot of food for the caravan.
We could use it as a trading tool.
See, I'm doing the head shaking stuff. I gotta stop that.
I have never herded sheep before, or goats.
Neither has Khajiit, but I suppose if we have rope and enough strength, we could move him back to the caravan.
You mean to make leashes for all of them?
Tie him together, pull the lead one.
As you guys talk, as you guys are kind of conversing back and forth, Wrath, I'm gonna pretend you're facing Khajiit directly talking. You look over to your left shoulder, which would be kind of the incline of the mountain as far as topography is concerned. You see a large boulder, which seems to be kind of blocking what looks to be a half of an entrance, like a hole.
Well, Wrath, once he recovers from laughing from the mental image of Khajiit's spindly ass trying to pull a string of goats and sheep, is going to point out the looks like a cave entrance to Khajiit. Maybe we should get our friends up here and have a look and see what's inside.
Sure. Is it
Um,
is it skinny enough for somebody skinny like me or Zarkul to fit in?
It's large enough for a Cyclops to fit in if you hit it in the right angle.
It's not closed.
Oh yeah, it's not close. So like, can we?
It's like half closed.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Then I'll like yell for everybody else to come up there and relay that I found the entrance to its home, I guess.
I suppose once everybody's there, I start sneakling inside the pier.
You
Wrath,
go ahead.
I was gonna say he's trying to sneak, and there's just the clunk, 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 clunk of Wrath like 10 feet behind him.
Absolutely. You make your way. Could you ginger? You know what? Fuck it. Roll a stealth, just because. And Motete, I caught that. You're gonna begin that ritual cast. I'll take what 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. As you tiptoe your furry ass over to the cave entrance, the boulder itself, like I said, it looks to be half cocked into place. You see scrapes and grinds around the perimeter of where this boulder is not currently touching. It seems to be a common thing. You look at the ground and you see indentations. It seems to be very trafficked ground, like very padded down, or at least, smashed down. You peer in, your pupils dilate, and as they dilate, it doesn't seem to be a very deep cave at all. It may go back about 50 feet at most, but the first thing that catches your eye is that there seems to be kind of like cave drawings along the side. At the moment, that's really all you can tell, but if you were to peer further in, you would see like a tree stump, like kind of like a reinforcement beam of sorts.
I'm so glad you did not say Cyclops babies.
Yeah, I was really worried that we were
Not-
gonna have to like raise.
Yeah,
Cyclops
not this
children.
campaign.
Only Asher gets the pet.
So, was that enough to look at everything in detail to see if there's anything of worth in there?
Not in detail. It goes deeper in, but you're just peeking in. You're not full on investigating. I mean, at a glance, it doesn't seem to be anything that you can tell. If you wish to further go in for a better look around, you're more than welcome to do that.
Okay, I'll motion to the crew that I'm going to walk a little bit further inside and continue.
Would you like to take any light with you?
I have dark vision,
Oh,
and I can see 60 feet, so I should be able to see all the way back.
Okay. His Wrath was going to give you one of these his magical light coins.
All right. As you, once again, I'm just going to use your 13 stealth. As you enter the cave dwelling a little bit more, the sound of the outside goes from like a loud, like a, as the sound doesn't really penetrate the walls deep in this earth here. So it sounds like you're in kind of a soundproof room of sorts, or a cave, literally. You look around. There seems to be like hay. On top of the hay is a bunch of furs, with like maybe a sack that has some furs inside of it, i.e. a makeshift pillow, it seems, like a bedding area. The cave drawings, do the entire circumference of the innards of the wall, and it seems to be just very crude, stick figures-esque, two stick figures kind of running. You see like buffalo or some shit, a spear being thrown, your cliche caveman type of drawing. Very crude, but it seemed to have involved fire. The one thing, in fact, roll me an investigation real quick. With a 9, out of everything that you see on the walls here, the one concept that just doesn't, one of these things are not like the other. There's a tree with what with scrapes coming off of it in the middle of like a desert landscape.
Okay. Doesn't mean anything to Khajiit right now. With the pictures that have multiple stick figures in them, are there a lot of them that are referencing 2 stick figures?
There are a couple of depictions of 2. They do seem to have different embodiments. In other words, they seem to be adorned differently. The one of them is drawn a specific way, which repeats. There's another one that has a little bit of a different physique to it, which is not. It's not presented in many others, but it does repeat sporadically here and there.
Okay. And the furs, they look like they're probably shoddy quality.
As far as Cyclops work is concerned, I mean, they're skinned and they're dried. I'm sure they're not the best, but it's, their skins. You look around even better. Give me another investigation for checking around. You flip through the beddings for, and it smells, by the way, pretty bad as you kind of quaff up that disgusting Cyclops body odor that sinks into the skins. But there seems to be 3 sheep skins that seem to be relatively good at the bottom. They're matted down, but they seem to be in pretty decent quality. Just to the right, you'll see like a wooden crate, a really shoddy wooden crate. Maybe he stole it, but it has like metal bits in it, like scrap metal, just random scrap metal pieces. On the other side of the bed, there's a pouch. I guess to a humanoid size, it's like a book bag, but to a Cyclops, it'd probably be a small little dice bag, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, you'll see kind of thrown in the corner of this cave, just by the stalagmite, you see like just these large nails, and they're literally like this big. Oh, we can't see the camera. Well, the blurry is not helping, but they're decent. Let's say 1 foot long nails, and there's about 6 of them.
Okay. I'll call in the party that's waiting outside as I go through the book bag.
You go through the book bag, and they seem to be. It's literally heavy as shit, so you can't even just lift it up because it's filled to the brim with stones. But they seem to be very rounded, shiny stones. From granite to different types of stones, and you can tell he may have had a passion for just shining stones when he was bored or something.
Khajiit's just going to raise his arms. Well, there's nothing here for Khajiit. And if anybody came in, he'll tell them about the sheepskins.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as you make your way out, you notice that on the opposite side of the entry point, there seems to be a pair of fur boots. But we're talking Cyclops-sized boots. Size 32s.
Maybe the tall one can grow into these. And I don't know if you guys want to do anything with the cave, but Khajiit's making his way out.
Yeah, Wrath was going to go inside once he waved him in, but you said it's pitch black in there, right?
I mean, you have ambient light coming from the entryway. It's not a very big cave. It's just enough to basically like a one-room apartment, but it's big enough to call home for a single Cyclops or 2. So, yeah, I mean, you could use light for more detail. That's fine.
I'm going to kick on my 3 coins to light them all up, and I have them in my palm, so I've got like 15 feet of bright light and another 15 feet of dim light. Just kind of walking around, checking everything out.
Sure. You're looking at the drawings, and just like Khajiit saw, you stop at this picture of a tree, which is, once again, it's literally like literally one of these things are not like the other, and it seems to be more recent too. In fact, if you were to touch it, you feel the residue is still fairly new.
It doesn't look like doesn't spark anything in me whenever I see it, does it?
I don't think so. Based on what I know of your backstory and your history, no, this wouldn't trigger your memory banks at all.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm just gonna keep looking around inside just to see if there's anything Khajiit might have missed.
No. Outside of some shaved goat wool that's literally just scattered about, almost like he's trying to do his own carpet. No, that's practically it. Zarkul, if you look at the stones, they all seem to be almost perfect spheres, bigger than marbles. So let's say I got a fucking ball around here, like not a bowling ball, like the purple bouncy balls you can play handball with or racquetball, like a little bit bigger than that. And they're a variety of different ones. There's a couple of red stones, a couple of gray stones, different colors and varieties. Seem to be a lot of them came from either the inside or just maybe traveling around this mountainous terrain, or at least this rockier terrain. Any of that might be of value. Are you a gemologist at all, or
Mason.
or a mason, or do you have any kind of history with rock?
Wrath is
Outside of
proficient with jeweler's tools.
These aren't jewels; these are rocks.
Okay.
outside
you
of
said gemology, so that's why I said.
I'm
outside
sorry.
of alchemy, no.
You don't know?
I
Okay.
was wondering if any of them sparked my alchemical knowledge, or if I saw any like ebony stone, like any black stone, basically.
You know what? Let's find out. Please hold. You know what? As you slowly take away all these stones, you're doing a thorough check as you are in the process of looking for a particular type of ore or what have you. Out of sheer curiosity, when you get to the bottom of the bag, there's this one black stone, but it's not black stone. It feels and looks more like glass. And it's like a perfect sphere.
I take it.
Absolutely. You can add to your inventory. We'll just call. I can't. I mean,
said
whatever.
Weird glassy stone.
Yeah, it's a weird black spherical stone. In fact, if you were to hold it up to the light, it almost looks as if it's when tempered glass shatters, how it makes that spider web kind of thing. Same thing on the inside, except where it's shattered on the inside, it kind of has a hue of a brighter green when you hold it under direct light.
I'm gonna try and get some earrings made out of this.
Okay. As you guys investigate, Motete finishes his ritual, which, out of curiosity, Motete, what does your ritual look like, buddy?
Well, he says, Da prehende dere magicia se.
My man. Holy shit.
Was that Latin?
My man, I didn't expect that at all. Absolutely. And as you finish your closing words, only to you and everyone else it's invisible to, only to you this kind of nova kind of quaffs away from you. And, unfortunately nothing lights up. But that was beautiful, man. That was beautiful.
I'll examine the body, examine the immediate area, and then I'll go inside the cave and look around in there.
Absolutely. Once again, seeing the exact same things as before.